Dear gentle viewers, it has come to this author's attention that a most peculiar affliction plagues certain members of our creative society. These individuals, blessed, or perhaps cursed, with an abundance of artistic talents, find themselves in quite the predicament. Like a debutante faced with a room full of eligible suitors, these gifted souls stand paralyzed before an array of artistic pursuits. Should they wield a paintbrush or a crochet hook, compose a sonnet, or sculpt a masterpiece? The choices, it seems, are as endless as the gossip at a ton soiree. One cannot help but wonder if there exists a method to this creative madness, a way to navigate the tumultuous waters of multiple talents without capsizing into a sea of unfinished projects. Perhaps, dear viewers, you possess the answer to this most vexing question. For now, this author shall keep a watchful eye on these flighty creators, eagerly awaiting the day when they settle on a single pursuit. Or prove that one can indeed master them all. Yours truly, Lady Lexi. Hey, it's me, Lexi. Da, 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 da. Welcome, fellow creatives. It was not my intention to take this long for the second video. I actually started this video and then started another video that was supposed to be a quick one. But yeah, as mentioned in my last video, I'm a bit rusty and ran into issues which can be demotivational. I realized it was turning into a true teaching video, as there are two ways to learn. There's the "this is how you do it" method, and there's the "this is not how you do it" method. However, it was taking longer than I'd planned, so I've put it to the side for now and focused on this one to get something out to you guys so you didn't think I was only going to post once in a blue moon. The video footage you are seeing is me swatching my Tim Holtz Distress and Distress Oxide sprays. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do a video showing my various swatch books for different mediums, because I love to swatch. And in planning for this channel, I started many videos that I never followed through on because I really don't function like that in real life. But that's why this channel finally got started. I realized I needed my videos to replicate how I actually work, which is not in a focused fashion. Well, I am focused when I'm working, but not once I've put it down for a minute. I still have swatching to finish and may include that in future videos if you're interested. I currently have umpteen projects going, and a bunch are started, and one is semi-finished. Well, actually, a few are semi-finished, and then they get restarted again because my idea changes. But there are also finished items done recently that I did not film. I find that filming can prevent me from creating. I know, this is a YouTube channel. The whole point is to film yourself. I get that. I'm working it into my creative flow as I can. I was trying to get my mojo back, and as I worked on these things, I knew that to do that, I had to just do the things as I felt the motivation to do them. Anywho, I figured it would be fun to show you guys what I'm currently working on, and it's also going to give you a preview of what the next few videos will be about as I work on those things. Now, as I work through my UFOs and WIPs, now, I must clarify that as long as I don't get another new idea to add to this list, which is highly probable, then this is what I'm going to be working through. So I just wanted to clarify that. So these are the items that the first one is one that I just recently finished. I started filming it and I just needed to get it done. So I didn't film the whole process. However, there is going to be a link in the description for that one, if you would like to go see exactly how to put it together. But yeah, let's go through all the things that I'm working on so you have an idea of how the next few videos are going to be, and actually scarily maybe how my brain functions. Hopefully there's a few of you out there who can relate, so it's not just you, Lexi, it's not just you. So this is originally what I was going for. I saw this and I was like, oh, it's fantastic. Quickly jumping. So this is what I actually ended up making, because I found this one and I loved that I could make it exactly the size I needed for the different items. Like, you could personalize it, and I also liked you could make it whatever height, whatever width, and also by the middle piece that sort of makes it a triangle, which you'll see in a second, stand up. I love that it allowed you to to change the orientation. I wanted mine to be like completely upright. So this is holding like a lot of my machine quilting ruler templates. But also, as you can see, marking tools, etc. So this is all right next to me at the sewing machine, which is absolutely awesome. Now these are fabrics to do 4, yes, I'm being very ambitious, 4 kaleidoscope quilts. And some of these are going to work awesome. The one is probably not going to work as good, but who knows, it might be a surprise. And that's this one. It doesn't have a lot of, it has too much space between it. And I don't know what I was thinking when I got it years ago specifically for this thing, but I'm like, you know what, I bought it for that, I'm making it. This one I think is going to work a bit better because it does have the long peacock tail, and it's got interesting patterns in between, which I think are gonna rotate nicely. Yeah, and just quickly, this is, for those of you who don't know what a kaleidoscope quilt is, this is what it is. You cut the pieces up and put them back together, but all from the same spot so that it forms a design. And you'll see in this one and also the next one, if you can see there on the right, you can see where I've already cut these strips so that they align perfectly, but I want to iron everything first. So I haven't gotten to the final pinning and cutting down stage for each of the blocks. That'll be a future video. And this one I think is going to be, this is going to be a hit or miss because it's quite bright and quite detailed. So yeah, so these are the 4 kaleidoscope quilts that I'll be working on. And next up, this was my COVID project. I'm so excited to have some time to myself because we never really took a break to work on something. And this was something I'd planned for ages. It's for a girlfriend of mine. Originally, it was supposed to be a spice and herb cupboard, but then she had her kitchen renovated, so that was not necessary anymore. So I made it more into a small craft cupboard for her to put her paints and stuff into. And technically, it's finished. Because you're probably like, well, why do you still have this? Technically, it's still finished. You'll see in the video footage. These are the photos I took of the progress over COVID as I was doing each step before I put it together. But you'll see in the footage, there's an extra piece I just found, and I can't remember if it was just I actually forgot it the first time, if I decided it wasn't necessary, or if I couldn't figure out how to do it. I don't know, because that was a few years ago now. So I absolutely don't know where my head was at. But there was a few accessories that I was going to make to go with this. And then some things I was going to put on the inside on top of the paper without ruining her surprise, because I'm sure she's watching this. I'm not going to say what they were, but I have a few things I want to add on to this. So this is why I still have it. And I really need to get it out of the house because I'd love for her to actually have it and use it. And honestly, it's gaining cobwebs here, which look great with the theme, but yeah, they're accidental. So here's the footage. I just took this, so sorry if there's any cobwebs. I did try and dust it off as best as possible. But this is, I mean, almost everything is Tim Holtz, not everything. This is a Kaisercraft kit that I used. We used to sell those. So yeah. So inside those doors, there was something I wanted to put, but I was going to leave the shelves available. These are the little drawers in the front. And this, here it comes, I think. So my brain's gone to mushy already. Yep. So this is the piece that's not attached, that should be attached. A similar one on the back side. So I'm still not sure why it's not attached. Hopefully if Megan sees this, I can ask her, would she prefer it with or without? Because I'm happy to do either. Otherwise it's just going to go in the trash, which seems a shame. But yeah, I had a fun time doing this. Absolutely grungy, absolutely Halloween, Dios de Muertos, you know, mixture of the two. She and I both share this love of these things. She's more into vintage stuff, so that's why there's quite a bit of vintage stuff on here. I'm into the macabre, but I don't like horror films, if this makes any sense. I don't watch any of that type of stuff. I do like cutie. I do have some really cool cutie Halloween things. Anyway, next. Because good God, girl, just slow down. I can't even keep up with the images. You're going faster than I can talk, which is a miracle. Okay, so this is a self-portrait that I started eons ago. And I work in the Miche technique. So generally this is the first layer, which you're seeing with the red and white. Underneath is mixed media background layer, which is my thing to do, which makes it different. But generally the next one is going to be a yellow glaze. And then after that, it's going to have... I generally work in, I don't know, 30 to 50 layers of glaze on top of that. But yeah, it's not done, obviously. So this next one, completely ignore how it looks. Pretty much, this is like the third iteration of this canvas. I kept reworking it, and that wasn't working for me. What's on there, you can see there's beginnings of an elephant, which looks very raw. But this is going to be a family portrait background for a friend of mine. You're basically going to get sick of hearing her name. Her name is Megan. She's very dear. She has been amazing to me over the years, and this is how I can give back. So yeah, this is going to be a portrait of her and her husband, and either 2 of her dogs or 3 of her dogs. I haven't decided still. But yeah, basically, this is basically the background that I'm going to be using. I'm not going to be altering it too much, but I will be obviously going over the areas that no longer match because I need to put faces on top. Yeah. Okay. Next. Okay, so this is my very, very first quilt I ever started. I didn't really have anything at the time, so this was marked by hand, this was cut by hand, this is being sewn by hand, and this is why it keeps, you can even see the little templates down there that I originally cut out of, I think, a country crock container. So this is something I pick up and put down. I get bored with it, because I do have a sewing machine now. I've actually had multiple sewing machines since, and it's quickly, so what you're seeing are the pieces I have left, and then the stars I've actually already made, and in a second I'm going to show you the magazine it came from. But yeah, this is in a box next to my couch now, and this is when I work on when I'm hankering to work on something, but I'm too lazy to get up and do it, but not too lazy to do anything. Um, this was before the kaleidoscope quilts, and so this was perfect opportunity to create amazing patterns if I'd known. See, look, July 1991. 1991, people. So this isn't a new thing with me. My whole life. I mean, I've had this magazine for how long? And I know I started this quilt, I think, back in 2001, 2002. Yeah. Okay, next. So, scrapbooks. This is one I made for somebody. Now I'm showing you this. I made a mistake. The front and the back are upside down, or you could say the pages are upside down. And I need to fix this, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. And I think it's a matter of going through all my papers and finding out if I have additional papers to replace the ones that I put in upside down, because you cannot remove them at this stage of the game. And I think I did want to add some interactive elements to it still as well. I actually have a small group of friends and family who I give things to, so I asked them to watch these, so whoever's really would like this one. Now see, if I turn it around, this is upside down, and that's upside down, but the pages are now right side up. So if somebody wants this and doesn't care, awesome. If somebody would like this and would like that fixed, let me know. Unfortunately, because it's on the front, it removes me being able to add interactive elements to cover it up, so to speak. So I don't know. Next up is another one I also have made for somebody else and have not given it to them yet. And so I'm not sure if this is going to be available for somebody to take or not. I haven't made up my mind. And this one, there's a lot of extras that still go with it, that coordinate, that I can use for interactive elements. But I'm thinking about the person I was going to give it to. The last one I made for them, I actually put the photos and stuff in it in advance. But I'm thinking about sending this one to them with just some photo corners and all the extras, and then they can figure it out for themselves, which sounds terrible, but it's been hanging around a while, and I really just need to get it out of my life, if you know what I mean. Different magnets and stuff. This was Market in 49, I believe, when they first came out. When I was in the store, we got previews and got to do little classes, and I actually have another one of these. I'm not really fond of the papers, but it's what came with it, so I'm probably going to be doing one of those in a future video as well. Because again, I'm just trying to get all this stuff out of my house, because, you know, we're giving ourselves a couple of years before we move, and I have a lot of stuff to get through and get rid of. And here, because it's so thick, I was thinking, oh my gosh, there's got to be another page here. And I ended up figuring it out. You'll see in a second. It was actually a double page, and I needed to flip it open twice. And I love these types of albums because there's so much interactivity, but yeah, I can also see where it might be confusing for the recipient to go, how does this work? Anyway, so the next one up is, I'm going to have links for these, but it's, oh, wait, nope, I'm wrong. This is one like I made before for my brother, and I have other footage of that if you'd ever want to see that one. But I did it with these exact same papers from Tim Holtz, the Abandoned Line, which is my favorite. And then I also have my own papers that I made with distress sprays, which I sprinkled in to make up the difference in the bigger sheets that I needed. And I love the way I did it for my brother and his partner. I love the way it turned out. And so we have made one for ourselves. But I do still have, I think, one more of these albums. So again, anybody from my little group, if you're watching this, if you would like something similar to this, I would very happily make one of these. I do have much larger albums. This is a Heartfelt Creations album that I also have to make, but unfortunately this paper does not come in a 12 by 12. It only comes in an 8 by 8. So that would be the thing. This album, I definitely want to add some interactive elements to, because I just love that type of stuff, like pop-ups and stuff. You'll see it in one of the albums coming up. I did one little doodad. But this this style is just so yummy to me. Yummy, yummy, yummy. He also came out the fabric line, which I haven't been able to buy, and I just understand it's been discontinued now. So I'm really gonna have to, I guess, do something about that and get my hands on some of it, because I would really love to sew some stuff with these same fabrics, because I just love them so much. I love most stuff that's Tim Holtz. So back to where I was. So these are from May Made It, and it's I think this is the 2-sheet bragging book. So you only need like 2 sheets of 12 by 12 to make it. And you'll see, because I made 2 identical, but not identical, meaning the layout was slightly different, which is why I'm showing this, because they're both slightly different in how things flip flop to the side, up and down. But I did use the same paper line on them. But the second one is the one that actually has the interactive element, and you will see that momentarily. I did use the same paper line. I love these papers. I cannot remember the name of them because, again, I am not trying to sell you anything. I don't want you to use what I used. I want you to use what you have. Comprende? So here we go. Ready? Blam! Yeah, that's just one pop-up. But that's when I say interactive elements, that's the stuff I'm talking about. Like the books when you're little, or, pull this and things flop, flop up, flip out, do all that type of thing. So this is what's left over of the paper from making those 2 albums. A lot of this I just kept with them in case I wanted to add any extra interactive elements. Now this is the May Made It 6-inch folio, and I realized after, now I'm doing the voiceover, that I actually had this upside down, meaning I should have flipped it the other way and flipped the pages from left to right instead of up and down. But c'est la vie. And these obviously have not been covered yet, so once I get these covered, if you're in the group, I'll be putting up pictures, but I'll probably also, I might be doing this in the videos coming up, is you actually seeing me cover these and put the interactive elements in. These were quite addictive, which is why there's a few. I just literally sat down over the course of one day and made all of the ones that you're seeing. The 2 purple, this yellow, the blue one coming up, which is the exact same thing. I don't know why I showed it to you, because it's the exact same layout and me flopping it the wrong way a second time. And then there's also the peach one and the orange one. The orange one's metallic paper. Now, I'm going to get ahead because I have some other stuff I want to say real quick, so that this video is already super long. The peach and the orange one are the 8-inch folio. And I should tell you, the 6-inch folio that I just showed, that started with 3 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock. And this one, the 8-inch folio, is 4 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock. It's obviously a much larger folio as well. It's an 8 by 8. And once you add some interactive elements and or extra pages in there, it can actually be a lot bigger than it is, which is why I'll be, like I said, finishing them on a video for you guys. But what I wanted to say is, I really enjoy doing the intro to this video because I love Bridgerton. Do you love Bridgerton? Tell me in the comments if you love Bridgerton. Is this something you'd like me to continue doing in my videos? I mean, I'm thrilled to say that after my first video, I have almost 50 subscribers. So if at least, 10% of you, which is 5 people, comment that you'd like me to keep doing this kind of intro, I will. But maybe that should be 20%, like 10 people. I don't know. I guess I'll see if any of you even comment. Get this far. Don't just scrub through the video. Also, I would also love it if you put in the comments what hobbies or projects you are juggling right now. Because honestly, you're not going to all be doing the exact same stuff that I do all the time. As mentioned previously, I also do jewelry and clay, and I want to get into felting. I have one project I want to felt. Not just a simple project, a big project, because that's how I do. I never pick the easy way to do things. I'm sorry, I'm rambling here. So into my quilt blocks. This one I will discuss more once I get into finishing it. But this is one that I got in a kit. The purple and blue one, I got it in a kit online. When I first moved back to the island, I was desperate to do something and I didn't have all my supplies, so I ordered these pre-cut kits, which are great because they're pre-cut, but it's also not great because this particular one was not cut very well. Now, the second one that I'm showing you, not so well because it's too off camera. It's from a block swap that I did, but of course they were all different fabrics and look different. It took me forever to figure out. I have this book that shows you how to like unite blocks. So I have EQ, electric quilt software, and I went in and I united it with borders, like I added extra borders on, all in the same color, and you see me flipping through the blocks now. And so I finished almost all of them, but not all of them. I literally forgot about this project. I started going through my stuff and I was like, what is this? Because it is literally from, oh gosh, 20 years ago. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible. A lot of my sewing stuff is sat to the side for a very long time. This is another one of those kits that I got from the same place I got I liked this, I don't like these corners, but I like the fabric choice that they use for the kaleidoscope. But that blue and purple one, I would not have picked those colors together. I mean, I love the colors, but not together, if that makes any sense. And then I'm just showing you the extra fabrics that I had picked out as borders and stuff for this, but I'm not sure if they even work. I think they're too much because it's blue and white. But yeah, that's why that's sort of sat to the side, because I literally sewed it up in a couple of hours because it was already cut, but then it fell to the side. I think here I'm like, what else do I have in here? So those were from a log cabin block swap, which is a hot and cool swap. So you picked all cool colors or warm colors. It looks very cool, but again, not that cool. I haven't assembled it yet. And then this was a block of the month that I started, and it was for my mom, who's now sadly no longer with us. But the reason it didn't get finished is because I could not keep the surprise to myself, and I was telling my mom. She came up at the holidays, and I showed her the picture of the finished quilt, and I'm like, I'm making you this. And she was like, oh my goodness, the cats, she's worried about the cats getting on it. And she's like, oh, I'll just put that in the closet to keep it safe. And I think that just turned me off, because if people make you a quilt, use it. Do not just stick it in a closet and preserve it, because it's meant to be used, and it's actually offensive. It's offensive for somebody to give you something and for you to just make it so precious that you don't use it. So please, if somebody makes you a quilt, use the damn quilt, because it was meant to be used, unless it was specifically meant to go up on a wall. Now, this is my friend Megan again. She has this Godzilla. This is what it looked like when she gave it to me. And honestly, I looked up the original online. It's not much difference. This has a few chips and stuff in it. So I've already started looking up dragon's eyes and online to see how I'm going to actually, think of the doll repaints, if you've seen any of those. So this is it primed. It's been sitting outside, so it might have a little dust and stuff on it already. It's all primed up and ready to go. So that's another project that I have to actually get moving on. As you can see, there's plenty to choose from and plenty to do, and it's quite overwhelming at times. And at the same time, just being able to put it all together in this video has been very useful. Having said that, that's not all. Ha 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 ha. So this was from another video that I was, again, started before, and it was for my swatching. So I've just put this up so I have something showing while I'm talking. I just wanted to finish out by saying I do really feel that everyone finds a way that works for them when it comes to doing multiple hobbies and actually completing projects. I used to be much better at getting things finished before I had the business, and since we closed the business, my mental state wasn't where it needed to be. My method is to literally work on what is screaming at me to work on. That can change by the day or sometimes by the afternoon of any given day. Sometimes I can work on something for a week straight and still be really into it. I just go with the flow. I've stopped worrying about birthday and holiday deadlines. I always give a gift once it's completed, because I've learned that life is not predictable and you have to give the gift when the person is here to receive it. I know that may seem like a grim outlook, but again, I want to give someone my best work and not race it because of a specific due date, and I also refuse to hold on to it once it's completed. These are the things that are currently working for me. I would love to hear in the comments what works for you. I may pick up some pointers on new methods of coping. I hope you have enjoyed this video and it's given you some incentive to jump into one of your hobbies, or to many of your hobbies if you have more than one. If you have any questions at all, please ask away in the comments and I will reply in as timely a fashion as I can. Until next time.